This year, yes, there's a lot of drama that happened to me, and there's just a lot of things happened. People talk behind my back. Yeah. Like, I don't regret what I did. Like, I stood for what I believed in. But it still weighs a lot on me each day. I don't know. The way I was treated, like how people were talking about me. Some days, a lot of self-doubt. I'm happier now. I'm grateful for the people I have with me. But it still weighs on me. So I'm sure I'll let go of the past, move on.
Something I wanted to let go that was pretty negative is like I always talk negative about myself. One of the like biggest things that I've noticed about myself like throughout the years is like I try not to talk about myself, and it's mainly because in the back of my head I'm like, man, who cares? Like nobody gives a fuck about like what I'm doing, and so why should I like bother other people with that? But when I think about it, I like to hear what other people are doing, you know. I like to get caught up. And so I just want to let go of all the negative stuff talking about myself.
My favorite memory from today's workshop would probably be popping the balloons and letting go of the things we don't want to carry with us to the future. It was very memorable because I get to know the boys much more. We got very intimate. I felt like we bonded much more, and also we all felt like we're here for each other. We feel like there's connection, a brotherhood that was people we can rely on when we struggle through our worst. Also, I feel very at ease for letting go of the things that I want to let go as well. And I hope that we have more activities like that in the future.
During the workshop, I was able to really dive deep into what my fellow PK contestants are thinking. A lot of their insecurities I also share, so it was nice to be able to share that connection point with them. During the workshop, I got pretty vulnerable, but afterwards, I was able to get together with all the PK boys. Everyone was hugging, everyone was like supporting each other, making sure like we were all there for each other. I know I have these other brothers who I can go to when I need them.
So lean on whenever you need it. Over here. If you need a buddy, just drop it on the chat. We'll pull up. PK boys, 1, 2, 3.
PK boys!
Right here, bro. Right here, bro. Right here.
Flare that out, flare that out.
It's like you're about to bench.
Dude, wriggly up. Where?
I lied to me. I think we're a little bit too much of short kings for this one. Kendrick and Juan got the height on us.
No, Kendrick and Juan look good.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I don't know what size of me. Yeah, you're like a 53.
Maybe 102.
How much should we size up?
Like 2.
Because everyone earlier was like,
I should not be looking down here.
Yeah.
I think Alex shopping is really fun. I felt like, because I don't speak Vietnamese, so, and all of the workers and like the owners at the shop did, so a lot of the guys, the PK boys, were just talking to them in like Vietnamese, and like I was kind of just like left there like a little kid, not really knowing or not really understanding anything, but like they helped me through everything, which was really nice of them. And I got a white and black aoi. It was kind of like traditional. It was a very big dragon on it that kind of matches like my tattoo art style, which is why I really wanted it.
OEI shopping was pretty cool. It was the first time I ever got one actually. Driving up there, I knew for a fact that I wanted one with a dragon on it because my zodiac is dragon and so is my middle name. When we first got there, I saw one that was like a darker blue and I prefer like a brighter blue. And I saw that Brandon really wanted that one. So, I wanted to be a good friend, give that one to him. And then someone told me, I forgot who, they're like, well, okay, just look for another one, like just look. So then I went through the shelf, I took one out, and I see a dragon, and it's sparkly and glittery, and I fell in love. It was like love at first sight, and I knew for a fact that was the one that I wanted.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
What do you think, Kyle? I feel like it feels like a lot nicer than the others.
Honestly, I didn't get any colors. They were not my colors.
We can see you all next time.
Bye.
Peace.
With all the boys, I think we've all been able to bond for the past 2 months now, so I think this won't be as hard. But first, I'm gonna bring this around. Everyone pick a marker, and I need y'all to go to town and shake the shit out of it so it starts working. Pick any color. And while that's going through, a big thing that us PK chairs want to accomplish with you guys is before even stepping on that stage and showcasing yourselves and the theme, I want you guys to be able to fully understand the theme yourselves. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple of reflection questions. So as Asian American men, what stereotypes by default are we placed into? Or you yourself, you can place yourself personally. What stereotypes do you believe by default you're placed into? Think about 1 or 2 stereotypes or 1 or 2 words that you feel like that society has put you.
Oh boy.
What's the cap of this? Quiet. That's like
unathletic.
my words were too feminine. There's this one video I saw on the internet recently. It was about this one girl talking about how like she's not attracted to Asian men typically because they're more feminine than men around the world besides in Asia. So I definitely thought that was, I guess, it was trending for a little bit. So that was definitely something that was talked about and definitely is a stigma or a stereotype of Asian men.
Asian Americans are believed to like be wealthier, more successful because they have because they're smarter. They're just like so much better and they work so much harder. This is why it's called like the minority myth. It's untrue, and this mindset is toxic to have because it pits minorities against each other. And not only that, but like ignores individual experiences across different ethnic groups. Stereotyping all Asians as like super smart, these like Asian whiz kids, it's just like really toxic. And so that was like important to bring up. Which is why I wrote that. Thank you.
I wrote STEM major. This is something that really messed with me a lot in college because I really had to be a certain STEM major or else I wasn't successful. I was ready to transfer to Bato after my second midterm here, my freshman year. I would literally be at parties Googling average stat major salary. And one major problem I have with this is I never really found what I like to do. I do now, but I never considered public health, getting a master's to be a librarian or something. And another reason why I wanted to be a STEM major so bad is because, kind of like Jason brought up, my mom knows nothing about financial literacy. So she always jokes about me buying her a house and taking care of her when she's older. But deep down I know that's not really a joke. So I feel like that's a lot of pressure because not only do I have to like pay for this ridiculous Seattle rent, I have to help my mom out too and my little brother. So I always feel like I have to be a STEM major to be successful. Now I don't feel like that anymore.
You might have oh god. Oh wait, privileges. Oh Lord.
I belong to my community and I am loved by my friends.
I am valid.
Let's say I'm free. I'm free to do whatever I want. I'm free to go anywhere I want, and I'm free to be happy.
I am charismatic.
Yes.
The most favorite workshop was today's workshop, where we really opened up about toxic masculinity and how it like affects our mental health and how like these societal standards they bring us down. And it's a really deep conversation. I feel like us as guys, we're not really as open of our emotions. So it was really nice to hear everyone's individual stories, sharing my own story, opening up a little bit. Like I got to know everyone like better as a person and what they've been through and how these societal standards affected them in their life or within their lives, within their childhoods, and how they carry through with them today, really.
I thought that was a very intimate, calming, and therapeutic experience because us boys, we have a lot of fun, we have lots of laughs, but being able to be intimate and share our thoughts and have deep conversations with each other, I thought that was a really different experience from what we had from other practices, which was really nice and good for a change.
I thought we were going for a group hug. This is different. That's okay. I love this teddy bear, bro. Alright, PK on 3. 1, 2, 3. PK!
What kind of photos are you thinking of doing for the boys?
Lots of sexy photos, lots of very confident showing off. Get that sexy moment.
JB, you look like a Vietnamese uncle. You're acting like you need to spend time with your kids.
Dude, you're so...
Bro, think it. Oh, I got another. Take it, get ready. Think about how you cross the fuck out of Garrett on basketball, bro. Patty, wait, is this still recording? Patty, don't put that in. Patty. I have to make it.
How are you feeling right now about the shoot so far?
I'm so stressed. This is so difficult.
Why? I think you're doing great so far.
You take the job, Megan.
Okay.
Do it for me. 3, 2, 1, action. Good job, everyone. Thank you to the officer for in the photos. Thank you. Even though we stayed late. Good shit.
If we're still
Wait, you guys have so much. Let's get it. Get me out. Wait.
Poor ass boy, dog.
We're here waiting. That's all. Yeah, just bring that to me.
He's paying fully him for everybody here. That's how nice he is. That's how nice he is.
Dinner on all the PKs.
No, dinner on just Tremont, bro.
PK always put the check.
Just him, bro.
gosh.
Oh, yep.
Hey, who's a dirty nook mommy? We are dirty nook mommy. Oh God.
Ew. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you, Albert. Thank you,
Jason.
Jason, what's up? Jason, thank you for
that.
I'm out, Joey. Oh shit, that's just so salty.
Bro, that's actually like stuck in my mouth. Wait.
Fuck you, Kyle.
Oh my God. It's actually stuck in my mouth.
Bitch, do half. I'm gonna tell you.
This practice in particular, so as you know, we recently have been putting out bingo boards just to fundraise for our show, and one of them was a fish sauce shot. Definitely not worth $1, by the way, but as you know, I brought fish sauce for the boys, and we all took a group shot. It's really cute. It's disgusting. I would never recommend this to anyone. I'm sorry, guys. We can talk about it. The paper. Personally, I'd say the dance is the most difficult for me, just because like I have been working hard at it, and like the moves don't quite come naturally to me, and this is really my first time dancing in like a big group. I'm worried that like I'm holding other people back because like my dancing isn't super great, but you know, I'm working on it. We'll see how it goes. I think the most rewarding part of PK has definitely been like, this isn't super unexpected, but like the brotherhood that I gained from this. I really think that all 10 other boys are super cool, super amazing, and like it's been really fun getting to know them and getting closer to them.
I think the most rewarding part about PK is just making all these different connections. I've been really warming up to the boys, maybe a little bit too close, especially with some of the officers who I barely know, especially Nia. Love you. Just all these great bonds. Hopefully it continues afterwards because I feel like I made some great friends. So during our practices, it's not particularly one moment. It's more like a collection of all these times where I feel like really in sync with the guys, especially like when we're doing our dance and we're all getting the moves at the same time, hitting the same beat. When we're doing our poses and I see someone who hit a really great pose, you know, they match it up with the lines, I'm like, damn, that was good. That gives me dopamine in my brain, you know, it just goes brr.
What has been the hardest part of the PK process?
I'd say the dance practices. I've had several injuries. I never got checked out before this. So my body is slowly breaking, my foot hurts, my knees are struggling, my left hip is kind of sore. Everything hurts. I'm serious. The most rewarding part of PK is, I feel like everything outside of PK, when you go to the bar or to parties with the PK boys, it feels like you really made friends, and it's kind of outside the cliche of like the theme of brotherhood. It's like these are real friends you made, and these are memories that will last.
What has been the hardest part, I would say, is kind of managing my time personally. It's been a little bit busy for me, and so there's a lot of things that are, I think, new to me, like actually practicing like dancing or like coming up with scripts and all that stuff. So just kind of managing my time to make sure everything works out, and then also make sure it all feels good, you know. What has been the most rewarding part of PK, I'd say, is just a sense of brotherhood, being able to hang out with the guys, actually having people to hang out with when I can, I guess. Like if I can just hit them up, we can just go out, eat, go out and hang out, play basketball, volleyball, just they got your back, you know, so it was good. Well, one of the practices was actually on my birthday. I didn't think much was gonna happen, probably just like a happy birthday and just wishing me a happy birthday and everything. But then somebody pulls out a chair and whoa, lo and behold, they start giving me lap dances. So that was definitely a very, very memorable memory for me. And so it's very funny, but yeah, I think it was really fun.
toxic masculinity, okay? That's the whole purpose of this show. What we're gonna be talking about is what is toxic masculinity, okay? What does it look like? How does it feel? We're come up with some definitions, and then we're gonna be making lists of some actions here that you, as men, we are expected to do. All right, so does anybody want to share what you think toxic masculinity is in your own words?
Like an expectation for men to fit a certain mold that society deems as what a man should be. So whether it be physical appearances or how they act.
It kind of makes men feel superior to women and put them down as society deems that men are superior.
I think to expand on that, it's also like men shouldn't show emotions. Like they should show as little emotions as possible. Kind of suck up to their challenges, basically.
This is an excellent list, everybody. I just want to say thank you for telling us these things, just because the fact that we are come up with such a long list, right, means that all of this has affected us so negatively. So according to him, he says that toxic masculinity involves cultural pressures for men to behave in a certain way, right? If you guys look back to what you guys talked about there, you also said something similar to that. All right, but more specifically, toxic masculinity refers to the notion that some people's manliness perpetuates things like domination, homophobia, and aggression. And so this researcher here again talked about there are three main core components of toxic masculinity. The first is toughness, the second one is called anti-femininity, okay, and the third here is power, right? Raise your hand if somebody or some group of people have made you do one of these things. Right? Raise your hand if you force someone else to meet up to these expectations. It's okay, you can be honest here, there's nothing wrong with that. Because I can also raise my hand too. Alright? It's not a bad thing, right? When we want to do it. It's the expectation versus the want, right? However, what's most important through all this? It's your intention. Your intention through all your actions. If your intention is to wear it because it makes you feel good, that's you not showing toxic masculinity. But do not be afraid to call out your boys for instances of toxic masculinity. That includes this group right here. As you guys are continuing this journey in PK, if you guys see instances where one person is being toxic to another person, call them out on it. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Last thing here I want you guys to do, or talk about, is what are some things that you can do to combat toxic masculinity?
You can help your siblings. You can help unteach the thing that your parents teach them.
I think encouraging and validating other people, especially if you like someone's outfit, you can go out and say that, because now not only are you tearing down that competitive wall between you two, you're also helping validate another point of them that showing hey, it's okay, there are people that actually look like that.
Checking in on your friends. I'm sure you like your male friends, letting them know you're there for them, and thinking, having that feeling they can be there for you as well, and now they're actually feeling comfortable enough with them.
I was gonna say just do whatever you want to do. Don't even pay attention to the expectations that are on you. Just live your life.
You're not going to solve toxic masculinity in a day. This takes time. First step to always solving something is being aware of it. Right? So hopefully through this presentation, this workshop, you guys had I've planted some seeds within you, and maybe you can use that to be able to take the next steps to be able to remove toxic masculinity from your life. Good? All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Hopefully you learned something from this. All right.
I need help putting this on.
We're gonna be there all day, aren't we?
Yeah.
Bro, I can't. Oh, wait. What the fuck?
Wait, did I put this on there? Did I put this on there? Dude, why is mine so long?
Because it is long.
Oh.
Well, that's all.
For me, the hardest part about the PK process is realizing that I possess the toxic masculinity that we're trying to dismantle. Recognizing that I have those values could be
uncomfortable, it could be therapeutic as well, since the feeling of uncomfortable allows me to realize that those values aren't necessarily who I am, and it allows room for growth in the future. The most rewarding part of PK is definitely the camaraderie that I have gotten out of participating in the pageant. Allegiance that I made with the boys from practice and outside of practice made me feel like I belong and I'm doing something meaningful.
I think the most rewarding part of PK is definitely like building a connection with like all the other guys and the officer team there, because we spend a good amount of time together both in and out of the PK practices. So obviously there's gonna be, you know, a lot of time to like bond over things and just make new friends and like get close to each other, which is really nice. I'd say that some memorable moments during the practices would have to be just dancing and learning the dance. It's always like high energy during the whole practice of it, and every guy is like excited to do it also, so like we're really into it. We also get to like tweak the choreography a little bit at times, and like bounce ideas off with each other and both Mackenzie, the teacher, which is really fun.
The hardest part of the PK process was definitely the time management, making sure that I could make it to like photo shoots, practice every Monday, as well as making my own time to practice at home. There was one time where I stayed up until like 5 o'clock in the morning practicing the dance. I did that more than once too. So like, you know, I put in a lot of hours practicing the dance, and you know, we still get roasted for it, you know, but yeah. The most rewarding part of PK had to have been the friends I made along the way. I have like 10 additional friends that I can call brothers. I have a group chat with them, and they're always making me laugh and stuff. Every time I see them, it's nothing but smiles, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna be friends for quite a long time.
The most rewarding part of PK is honestly making great connection with these boys out here, and also get to learn more about myself, and also being able to express myself, and also I get to learn more about toxic masculinity and also fixing that, and how society does a huge problem regarding to it. Definitely the memorable ones would be all the workshop we did. Every single dance practice is so memorable because everyone tried so hard to do their best. The sweat really makes everyone bond more, I guess, yeah. Show's approaching. I'm quite nervous, but also very excited at the same time. There's a lot of things leading up to this. Still need to work on the talent part, which is a month, trying to cram that in. I think I'll do good. I'm going out with a bang, so nothing stopped me now.